There we go. Hey, Troy. Ooh, my hair is wild. We just got in from doing some work.
Yeah, 0 people in here.
We are so popular. Oh, I cannot do this with my hair.
Well, we'll just sit here and they can watch me eat a cookie on the restream.
Mm-hmm. With your mason jar water.
Yep. Better get some people in here because I plan on finishing this water before it's over with. There we go. Got one.
We got one. Woo! Text Mom. She's
Probably should have scheduled it earlier in the
I
day.
meant to, yeah.
Shayla was playing with her honeybees.
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, I need to get this more.
Where's Musgrave from again?
I don't remember. Hey
There
guys.
we go.
There's Josh.
Josh is in here with like the oranges. I didn't get to watch all of his moose hunt video yet.
There's Angelica and
Watched
Steven.
about maybe a quarter of it.
Oh, there's Mom.
Oh, they're just down the road.
JS Justice Designs. Hey.
Is that the one that found us at
Meeker.
Jones? Is that the one that subscribed because we were at Jones?
I don't remember. I didn't know y'all were Meeker. They're on Facebook too, but
We got a lot of
y'all are
neighbors.
like super close to us. Now I'm gonna look here.
This is our last cookie for at least 6 weeks. Levi's getting a little chunky, so we're going to go on a diet with him for about 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could afford to lose a few pounds anyway.
Yeah, me too. Hey, Angie. That's funny. I don't know why I didn't know that. Musgrave. I'm creeping on y'all's Facebook.
Well, I don't know if they were in that live that we did where we were talking about how next year we want to, in a sense, share crop or whatever we would call it. But we want to get some families together and each of us grow a crop. I guess you could do animals too. You know, like if you were good at pigs, you know, you could raise a couple pigs or a pig or
sheep, goat,
or whatever, and we could get together and skin it and pressure can it or
chickens,
make salamis or whatever you're good at. If you're good at growing sweet corn, we could get together and can a bunch of corn.
We need to plan something out and then post it.
We need to get. I'd like to get about.
See who would be seriously interested.
I'd like to get at least half a dozen, if not a dozen, people involved in it.
Yeah.
Within an hour or so here.
Yeah, and we know quite a few people that do it, so that would probably be interested. We do own our own pigs. You guys have the full-size pigs or coonies? Or IPPs, I guess.
Mac TV. Is that Cannon's?
That Cannon's Mac. Looks like it in the picture. I gotta look on my phone. If that's him, I've never met him in person. Oops, I gotta turn my phone down. Oh, it is Mac. Yeah, I've never met him in person, but I've known of him for like at least 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, well,
Have you had your kiddo yet? Or Not you, but has your kid been born?
Full-size pigs.
All right.
We've got a full-size wild boar that
Hey,
we're
Jennifer.
gonna process this winter sometime. He's probably gonna go on feed pretty heavy for about a month, maybe 6 weeks right before we process him. That way we can get a lot of fat from him. We're gonna try to render some fat. Maybe can some of him. Try our hand at maybe pepperoni or salami. You know, he'll be kind of a lard pig because he's a wild boar. They put on fat kind of like a Michon or a Mangolista.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there's Dad. We're just talking about how my dad made bacon.
And bacon. We will probably we'll cut the bacon out of him and see what it looks like. But I would like to make some bacon out of him if he's got good bacon.
Well, congratulations, Mac. That's cool. Got a kid. That's
Tony.
So weird.
Tony from our cabin
Hey,
in
Tony.
the woods is in here.
Need to come by and see our setup.
See our setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Tony's in Wellston, and then Ron J with Rolling Reed Ranch. They don't get on here very much, but they're north of Wellston. I thought they were actually in Wellston, but they're north. But they're not far at all. There's a lot of channels around.
Juno is just
Juno. Pronounced Juno.
Sure. It's just maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes straight east of us.
Mm-hmm. My shirt came in, but it's on the other side of the country. Oh. So we'll probably get it sent here in another 1 to 2 months. Okay. What does it teach him to run fast?
Teach you.
Who? Mac's kid? Now Cannon's trying to catch up. And I'll find him. Oh, that's why he said it, because his kid's name is Forrest. Dad's being funny.
Probably the greatest movie ever made, Forrest Gump.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch that movie.
Of course, I was pretty young when it came out, so
There's a
it was very impressionable. I don't know. It's between Forrest Gump and Dances with Wolves.
Yep. Tony saw your video, but next time I want to see you in the passenger seat filming, so I feel like I'm in the race. Oh, you're talking about Johnny's race?
We haven't seen all the Johnny's race stuff yet. Did Johnny do pretty good?
We were watching Leonard Mountain's video a minute ago, but we didn't finish the whole thing. Wish it was a true story. Yep.
Yeah, foothills of Appalachia. They've let me turn that off.
Just turn it up.
They're pretty good gardeners from what I can gather from their channel.
Hello, everyone. We're in North Georgia. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, you guys go check their channel out, Foothills of Appalachia, and check out Homesteading with the Law. Actually, just check everybody out. I need to drop links. Too much weight, Jennifer. Doing good. Eating. You sleep 8 hours a night, though, which is amazing. Well, that's good. That doesn't happen very often. He finished within the top 8. Was he happy about that? Sounds good to me, but I don't know much about all that. Oh, Tony did a video. Yeah, we'll watch your video too, Tony. I've just seen Amy's pop up and decided to watch a little bit before we started this live. He was on Final 16. Right. Eat more pears. Ha ha.
I've ate a lot of pears in the last week.
You got a lot of fiber.
Most pears I've ever eaten. I had some kind of a stomach virus or something that was really bad, and I feel like the pears were really good from a.
They're
gut.
like the highest food in fiber.
It was like when I started eating the pears was one of the turning points in my stomach issues.
That's a horrible thing to say. Okay, get him a lighter camera. No, I have not finished the pears yet. I made a pear crisp last night, and the pears didn't cook all the way down, so it was okay. But I still have a very small box, but we'll probably eat. I don't know if I'm gonna process.
The texture will never be 100% right with pears, like for
well
pies and stuff, because they got that grit in them.
So there's over 3,000 pear varieties. They date back over 1,000 BC. So it is. There's so many varieties. I don't know. These are just wild pears, I'm assuming.
There's a pear tree out near Fort Cobb that every year in the fall, this time of year anyways, whenever I'd go fishing with my dad, we'd stop on this corner and pick pears. I can tell you exactly where it's at if you're familiar with Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, but it's right by the entrance to Old Carnegie Dock. If you go there right now, there's probably some big old pears on it, but this thing put pears on about the size of a softball. Yeah. And the tree's all busted up. It looks like it could die any year, but it's looked like that my entire life. At least for the last 20 years, it's looked like it should die every year, but it puts on softball sized pears.
One time we were driving down to the lake, and Dakota, I think Levi was like, 2, maybe 3. And Dakota turned around and he said, "Levi, you want a pear?" Levi said, "A pear of what?" He had no idea what the fruit was. They're not real popular in the stores around us, but I was reading today that the United States is one of the largest producers of pears. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But most of them are grown up in Oregon and Washington.
I've had one, I don't know what the variety would be called,
Lori.
But I had a pear that was like brown in color. The skin was like brown, almost like a brown that you associate with something that's going bad. But it was the most soft and sweet pear I've ever had.
Well, there's a lot of pears apparently. This didn't turn out too bad. Like I made some pear butter, and it's good, but from the pit, like there is a little bit of grit in there. So I mean, if you can deal with that, it's not bad. But I guess I could have been more particular in cutting it out, but I didn't really know. It was the first time I made pear butter, and this variety is just some wild variety too. So Jan fell asleep. She was supposed to be on here, but she hasn't been through enough of Amy's 2-day lives to be used to staying awake like 10 p.m. here. My bedtime was an hour ago. Oh my gosh. That time change thing is
rural rough. 2IC. Fried pears over ice cream. So I had Shayla made that pear crisp, cobbler crisp, whatever it was last night, crisp. And I had it with some ice cream, and I picked ice cream that was pretty much just skim milk, cream, no sugar added, and it still messed me up. Something about ice cream. I haven't had
ice cream in a long.
I ate half a cup of ice cream, and I blowed up the size of a beach ball. It's not fun. But I can drink milk. I'm not lactose intolerant. I mean, I can drink pasteurized milk, unpasteurized milk. That doesn't bother me.
Well, you drink some goat's milk.
Drink it all. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, man. There's a weird sound. Yeah. I don't know what else to do with my pears. I could make some pear sauce, I guess. But I've made several things. I got pear vinegar going. Some pear wine would be really good. Maybe could possibly have enough to do that.
I keep forgetting. I like to try to refer to people by their names.
Jeff.
With rural?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
Because I cheated. I saw Tony say it.
Oh. I knew it was a J name. But I was going to ask you, Jeff, I came on your live last week, and I don't remember which day of the week that was, but do you do that on that day of the week every week, or was that kind of random? We got Trey in here from Our Louisiana Life.
Hey there. I did make some pear jelly, but it was with the scraps, so it's probably not going to have a lot of flavor. I might make some more actual pear jelly, though. Tony said he was going to do a live at the races, but he didn't want to step on anybody's toes. Yeah, I mean, everybody was doing it at the 10 Killer meetup, too, so, you know. People will go back and rewatch it, so. So
whenever I see multiple channels on live, I kind of pop in on both of them.
Yeah.
But
or he'll hit one and I'll hit one if I'm not doing anything. So. The name Jeff is on the inside joke with Amy. Oh.
Oh, well, I thought your name was Jeff last week.
We're just going to call him Jeff now.
Because
Tony said
he was on Amy's live last week and she called him Jeff like 5 times. So I was like, oh, his name's Jeff.
That's great. So what is your actual name? Venus Odyssey. Oh. You're supposed to know that. You're getting me all.
You're the one that reminded me those names was Jeff.
Well, that's because Tony said it. I was cheating. You're supposed to know because I wasn't on the live. You was right beside them, so you should have just told them to get off. Hey, Jenny. Hey, y'all. Jack's video from the Urban Homestead Expo for those who need the info of Homestead Rendezvous. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the videos. I saw Cassie Walker's shorts. I'm walking through a little bit, but I've been waiting to see videos from that.
Never shared his name online.
Oh.
I bet I could figure out.
Rule 2, I see. Where are you from?
You never know. I could be with the CIA and I could be assigned. I could be assigned to look over your channel. I may already know your name.
You probably can't say that on here. We're gonna get kicked off. It's a code word for his real name. So is it Jeffrey or no? Jeff, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
It's
yeah.
Geoff. I've known some Geoffs.
Ohio. Hey, Xander. Did you have a long day? Oh. Or high one. Now Mom's gonna have to start learning all these names. She comes in here all the time.
She's got to be our door greeter.
Yeah.
So Shayla was talking earlier, Teresa, Grandma Teresa.
Uh-oh.
And she was saying you guys should buy our friend's place down the road.
They're listing it Wednesday. It's a big horse barn.
Yeah, big old horse
Chicken
barn.
barn.
If you guys buy it, I'll go buy
milk
Kovu
barn.
back from the farrier.
Yeah, it's 3 bedrooms, so you can have Megan and Camden, and then there's like a horse barn where Caleb and Vanessa could move in, and there's like stalls for the kids. I got this planned out. I trust you won't be pushing me in the lake anymore. We are now even.
I don't know, what is it, 15 acres?
Yeah, I think so.
15 acres.
Might be able to buy the 10 back that they sold.
It's pretty good property. It needs some fencing work, but with goats, if you put some goats and sheep or something like that on it, man, they'd clean it up. It'd be some.
It's
it'd
really
take care of the weeds.
It's on the highway, but
it's got good grass, despite the ragweed down there, and the horse nettle's got good grass on it.
It's a nice place. If anybody's looking to move to Oklahoma, another YouTuber right down the road.
And then Jim can finally start his pack goat business. He can go over here to the Deep Fork WMA and charge people to pack their deer out with his giant alpines.
Yep. Oh, I'm not on enough of these lies to get all these inside jokes.
Seems like the last week went so fast.
Yeah, we were busy. So busy.
I tried to go scout out some dove hunting spots earlier, but it's like in Oklahoma, up in the dove areas, there's no public land, but there's Oklahoma land access where people lease their private land to the state, and the state gives you walk-in access to hunt. But usually whenever they do that, they don't make a good effort at farming it because they're making their money on the lease. So a lot of them didn't have good crops for doves planted on it. Eddie Family Farm. We're doing good tonight.
Hey guys, how are you? Did y'all go to the Urban Homestead yesterday? The expo? I haven't caught any videos on it yet. I just saw some of Cassie's shorts. I was hoping we'd get to stay there, but
yeah, we've been so busy. Normally, I know more about lots of these channels, over the last few days, but
I know we've been so
the
busy.
weekend
I feel
was
like
so fast. We were at football all day Saturday, literally all day.
Well, we had a small gap, but we were supposed to go back for a short period, and it was homecoming weekend, so Levi's game
football
was
stretched from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
After 7.
Levi's game was supposed to start at 4:30, and I don't think we started till 5:50 or 5:20.
Yeah.
It was like an hour late. It was a very long day. But they both won. And actually, Rylan got game ball. I wish he'd come out here. I don't know if any of you guys caught that short, but it was all his highlights. He did really well. And then Levi finally got to play a little defense, which was fun to watch because he hasn't got to do that this year. And he used to play all the time. So he got some pretty nice tackles in himself.
Yeah. Eddie Family Farm. I know it's hard to take care of the farm, take care of YouTube, take care of the family. Yeah. There's a lot of irons in the fire.
And we homeschool, so the kids are here all day and making messes, and we got school, so it's.
And then we had some neighbors over Sunday.
Yeah.
Cooked some hamburgers and.
Yeah, that was fun though. We need to do that more often. Farm life keeps me busy. Yes, in a good way.
I don't know what I would do. Like, if I lived in town, I just don't know what I would actually do. I just couldn't see it.
Yeah, I have to give you credit on that. I watched your video the other day with you teaching kids. That's amazing. Yeah, there's days that are good and there's days that are bad. Most of the time, as long as if they're not in a good mood, we don't bother messing with it. We'll come back to it later in the day, and then they're more apt to do it. They're pumped up, so they'll get it done within an hour. But if they're not in the mood, it's not worth fighting them on it. I've learned that really quick. They did their school today.
I know what.
We struggled a little bit because he was.
So we discovered a cherry tree that actually had a few cherries on it. Like every fruit-bearing type of tree, or nut tree, or persimmons and cherry tree, everything that we have on our farm. We have a horse apple tree or an Osage elm that put on horse apples for the first time since we've lived here. Everything put on well this year. And we discovered we had a cherry tree. And I was walking around today, and I found out that Rylan has been whittling away with it with a handsaw. So Rylan's about to be on stick picking up duty because he killed my cherry tree.
The one by the pond or the ones that Huxton found?
The big one. The big one that had the cherries on it.
They said we actually thought about homeschooling, but was too afraid that it affect our activity at school. Yeah, I mean, they can play through up until middle school, and then they would have to go to school. But as far as like socializing, like we were in church, and
maybe he's going to be the next George Washington. He chopped down the cherry tree.
Oh my gosh. We were in church, and then they were in 4-H. We didn't re-sign up this year because we're just a little lost and not ready to get back into that yet. But then they do football and baseball, and they've done soccer, and they're overly social. I got stuck talking at Atwood's for about 2.5 hours because our youngest Huxton was just started talking to this older guy in there, and we got to talking, and I was there for about 2.5 hours. So there's no issues with them being social there. He didn't know.
You know, I was thinking it's definitely not doing well. I may prune it really good and put some tape around it or something. Maybe it'll grow back together, but he's got it about 70% cut down.
I don't know why he would do that. I told him he could cut down all the ones around that big blackjack.
Oh, so you...
No, around where your deer feeder is that you put up that's on the ground for some reason. But I told him he can cut all those little ones because they're growing up into the blackjack anyway. Yep.
Yeah, we
got in trouble for talking too much.
We went over to the neighbors where our cows are at the other day to drop off a mineral tub, and we didn't get home till 10:30.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was Saturday after.
That was Saturday
after we were
night.
at football games all day.
Yeah. 10:30, and then they came over the next day, which they actually left early. I was kind of surprised. We figured we'd be up till 11 o'clock again. Yeah, Dakota's pretty bad about talking too much, too.
So, back in the day, my dad had a really good friend that was a game warden out in Custer County, and we used to do a lot of trapping, and we went to go tag our bobcats. We met up with him to tag them, and we talked to that game warden for probably like 6 hours. And at this time, my dad didn't have a cell phone, so we were down there talking to him. When we got home, my stepmom thought that something had happened to us because we were gone for 6 hours. All we were supposed to do is go tag the bobcats and get back home.
Oh, life before cell phones.
Kind of miss it, to be honest.
Yeah, it would be nicer if we didn't.
I remember my dad
As
saying he
addicted
would
as I
never
am
get a
to
cell
be.
phone, and then he ends up having an iPhone.
Yeah, he held out, though. He had a flip phone up until, like, probably 3 years ago, and then...
Well, maybe 5.
Yeah, I guess time's
5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
He held out way long ago. I'm with y'all on the talking too much.
Hey, in Alaska, when it's sunlight for 85% of the day, you ain't got nothing to do but talk.
You tell me I talk way too much. Oh, Pinecone Fest. Actually, that is the bye weekend, but that was gonna be up to you because of hunting season. Youth is the next weekend, Johnny said, and they have a bye that weekend too.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's not rifle season; it's just bow hunting.
I've also got a bid on a side job out that I haven't heard from, but those kinds of things they usually got to rack it around with higher ups and stuff for a while before they get back with you. And if that bid comes through, then that weekend's probably when I'm going to do it.
So maybe. We're always last minute with everything.
We literally decided to make major decisions 95% of the time within 24 to 48 hours of doing something.
Yeah, usually every time I ask him something, it's, I don't know. And then I end up doing it on my own, and he yells at me later. I'm like, well, I asked you 4 times, but you didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But they asked what you, Angelica and Steven asked what you do for a living.
Oh, I do scales, calibration on scales, repairs, calibration,
Install
them. You know, so I'd say the last company I worked for, we did a lot of anything. I mean, literally anything, lab balances to truck scales and concrete batch plants and stuff. But this company I work for now, 95% of it's just truck scales. But I've done a little bit of all of it. I've done jet turbine blade thrust calculating balances.
He's been to some crazy places. He goes to like Highland. No, he has before. He's been to Highland Dairy. He goes to.
That's not crazy.
No, but it's cool. But then he's been to a glass plant, and then one of the worst ones was
Stericycle?
Yeah, Stericycle.
Right here in Stroud?
Yeah, it's an incinerator.
It's not an incinerator.
What is it?
It's a giant enclave.
That's disgusting.
And you know what an enclave is? It's where they sterilize.
Steam it, right?
Where they steam sterilize stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, an enclave typically is like for stainless or glass surgical instruments and stuff. But imagine the waste from hospitals or other biohazard places that they have to sanitize before they can send it to a landfill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually ended up refusing to go to that place eventually because it was so bad. There's some things I just won't do for money.
He's been in nursing homes. I think he did the post office.
I used to do a lot of nursing homes. They were kind of interesting. I'll tell you this, after going to several of them for work, I'd rather cook a tinfoil pizza in the microwave and burn my house down before I go to a nursing home. Don't ever put me in a nursing home. Yeah. Well,
Enclave was a Buick.
I've never thought of it that way, but I've seen those Buick Enclaves, and they give me about the same gut reaction.
Oh my goodness. Trying to think of some other places that you've been pretty neat. Is the glass place the one where that melting lava stuff is that they pour out?
Been to ammunition plants, tire plants, Michelin tire plants.
Stinks. He comes
The
home
tire
smelling
plant wasn't
like
my
tire.
favorite place I've ever been.
A lot of concrete plants.
A lot of cell barns.
Cell barns. Those are nasty.
Just depends on what your definition of nasty is. Stericycle's nasty. Cell barns aren't nasty.
Well, when I think of like, it's not really contagious to us, but all their
so I did a pretty good side job or a job through my company one time, through my LLC, through Minuteman Scale. Did a pretty good job at a cell barn one time. Shayla's brother and dad helped me go there. So the scale would sit on what you call a mechanical lever system or a Fairbanks Type S lever system. It's what it sat on, and it was wore out. So went in there and you just torch a couple bolts, roll the levers out of the way. Well, the piers need to come out a little further, so we had to put some rebar in, build some forms, pour some concrete, and we put some load cell assemblies in instead of the mechanical system. And when we went back and installed the load cells, it was just me and Shayla.
It's what he's not telling you is that the pit is only like 3 foot tall, and you have to squat around the whole time, and your legs are on fire. And that thing was full of water, so rain boots. You're wearing rain boots.
Water. It's full of manure.
Probably
About 6 inches of manure and water.
On here. Yeah, there's piss all on there. And that was fun. Lifting those. Yeah, it was a mess. Our Louisiana life is just short, like 3,000 miles, give or take. Can you send me an email regarding what we owe on the bonfire? Oh. Guys, I gotta help the kiddos get to bed. Want to stay and say hi. Yeah, thank you guys.
We appreciate you coming in.
You guys have a good night.
Got
Maybe
like
we'll see you at the rendezvous. Yeah. My favorite Alaskan son. How are you? Come here. I can't hear
that
you.
boat that Josh has up there is pretty cool. I'd like to have a boat about like that for around here.
Come here.
I got some rivers I'd really like to put it in.
Right here. Only if you say hi to everybody. Say hi. No, don't get shy. Just turn around. Hi. Grandma's on there. You gotta say
Brown's
hi.
Family Farm.
Yeah.
So they just recently did their pig show. Hey, I never caught it in the in your channel for sure or not. Did you guys ever get the issue with the pig fixed where it was turning its head?
I have no idea what's on it.
Because it had like possibly an ear infection or nerve issue or whatever. It could have been.
We're doing good, waiting for a call. We had a blast at the races. I would like to do it again.
Yeah, I'd really like to have.
Number 5. No, this isn't him. This is 55. He doesn't get to play much because he's in first grade. They let the second graders play more. You got to go in the last place.
It's a competitive league, so I mean they play to win. You know, this year it's been a little better. He's got more playing time than Rylan had in the past because when Rylan played, there was like 30-something kids on his team. Yeah. So this year there's basically about 20. There's a few more, but 20 show up. Yeah.
Hey, 3B Homestead.
So he's got a little more playing time in some scrimmages and stuff than Rylan did in the past, but Rylan's always been Rylan's the middle one, and he's always been a little more aggressive with athletics. Yeah. He's very competitive.
He's a little monster.
And baseball is what he really likes.
Yeah, he loves baseball. Got to play to the winner. There's really no point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm totally down with playing the best players to win. You know, I'm not a participation kind of person.
No way.
Well, for one, most of the kids that don't get to play, honestly, either they're just really young and they need another year or two, or they just don't want to be there. Mm-hmm. So if they don't want to be there, it's not fair to kids that want to be there either. So
they said yes between the meds we used and using alcohol, like you mentioned, she finally got straightened out.
Yeah, I figured that. So one of the reasons people will raise show pigs in a barn and on wood chips and all that is because pigs love the mud and water. But with that can come swimmer's ear, basically, ear infections. And when you use alcohol, what it does is it you know.
Oh yeah.
It absorbs the water and then evaporates off better.
Give it to me. He's gonna mess it up.
And it's disinfectant as well.
Hey, they want to say hi to you. Come here. Here's number 5. Turn around. They're asking about your video. Tell them you won the game ball.
Go get your game ball. Yeah, he's pretty proud of his game ball. He's got we took him to a minor league game and he got a ball at a minor league game and he's pretty proud of that too.
He waited and waited and waited.
He went over on the just past the third baseline where they were hitting fouls and waited forever until he got one.
He's something else.
Which actually, so we were our second grade boys were scrimmaging the third grade boys the other day, and Huxton, the youngest one, he actually surprised me. Their big old running back that's been held back, and one of their best players went right up the middle, and Huxton was standing in there at middle linebacker and just stepped right up, and I mean he kind of got ran over, but he wrapped him up.
He jumped, and then another kid fell behind him, which caused him and. But
Huxton went straight down the middle.
Yeah, he did.
And just wrapped him up.
As soon as he laid eyes on him, it was over.
So, Huxton, another year or two, he'll be pretty good. But football kind of takes a toll on a lot of different things.
Show him. Just be careful. Hey, show him your ball. Turn it. Boom. Yeah.
Number 5 is right there.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Did you have fun? Why did you play so good? Watch out. Now, Grandma's coming this weekend, so you have to play that hard again. We need to do another highlight video.
Yes. Huxton needs to play hard too.
Quit making weird faces.
Yeah.
Huxton's just so young and goofy. He'll get it later.
Fill the hole and hold on till you help gets there. Yep. You did good, huh? When you tackled that kid, was that fun? How many times did you cry in
3B
football?
Homestead, say
I have
congratulations.
not cried in football.
You've never cried?
Yeah, Trey. I played defensive tackle, but my best friend played middle linebacker right behind me. And man, I don't know how many times I probably got a concussion from my best friend laying the hammer on a kid at the same time as me, but hitting me more than the kid we were hitting.
Grandma's the very top one.
You got to be you got to be an animal and play middle linebacker, though.
You did.
But he didn't care. He just hit everybody.
Oh. I hate migraines, Christine.
I like defensive tackle. I like being right there in the mix. I didn't get of course we didn't play a lot of teams my senior year that passed. We only played one team that really passed a lot. But they ran like their offensive line wasn't very good, so they ran like a 6-yard shotgun snap, and then they would just drop back like 2 to 3 steps and throw little quick slants and curls and stuff real quick. So,
Thank you, Angie.
I didn't have a lot of chance to get sacks my senior year, but I think I averaged like 8 or 9 tackles a game, and I had a bad shoulder, and I didn't even play. I probably played about 70% of the games on defense my senior year. But I loved it. Defensive tackle was fun. I like being right there in the mix.
Genetics were there and still ain't. Yeah. I feel that way about music. I got genetics. Probably football. Unless he's talking about something else. A lot of my family's musically inclined, and I did not get that. Where are you going? I just want you to stay here.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty good to start your freshman year. I played
kicker.
I played a little bit my freshman year, but I didn't start. But I played freshman ball. See, we had freshmen. We were the last year that freshmen had their own junior high team. Then we played up with JV, and so according to our state rules, you could play 2 games a week. So while junior high season was going on, we played our junior high game, and a JV game, and then whenever junior high season was over, we played JV in high school. My buddy that was middle linebacker, he started his freshman year, but he also went and played at OU for a year, and then went to a D2 college later, just because he didn't have a scholarship at OU. He walked on, but he could have played there if he'd have stuck it out. But it would have been a lot of money to get that education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, migraines aren't fun, so.
Lord gave the helping I'd got to someone else. Some's got it, some's don't. Yeah. Yep. Levi wasn't very good his first year. He's terrible at baseball and soccer. Well,
He wasn't bad at soccer.
no.
He was about the best kid on the team.
Okay, the first few years of each sport
He was
he's
just
done,
a
he
little
was not
chunky,
very
so he
good.
couldn't.
What about
He
basketball?
didn't have the endurance.
The first couple years he played any sport, he wasn't very good. His last year of soccer, he played goalie, and he was pretty dang good.
What about basketball?
And then baseball, he wasn't good at, but we took him to the batting cages recently, and he did really well.
So
And football is
So, Trey,
loaded.
I missed my chance. My freshman year, we were getting beat
You guys
by.
good on basketball?
Interestingly enough, it was the same team
Levi's never played
that the
basketball.
boys were playing, McLeod, Oklahoma, this weekend. But we're playing them in.
Levi
I
said he has played.
No, he did not.
think it was the quarterfinals.
Levi's a liar.
You better go sleep.
But anyways, we're playing them in the quarterfinals my freshman year, and our seniors were getting whooped on defensive line, and the head coach was like, "Duree, get over here!" And I didn't hear him, and he was mad that I didn't hear him, so I didn't get to get in the game. But I still remember that. I was like, man, I should have been paying more attention. But that was a big game. We ended up losing and got knocked out of the playoffs. But I really wanted to get in that game.
Do you know any of these people?
It's crazy how much I remember whenever I start thinking on this stuff.
Grandma.
Tony was the one that we got. That was the one we got shirts from. Yep.
But I played in a
And
few
like the oranges. That's
few
Josh.
games my freshman
He
year
lives
that
in
were
Alaska.
inconsequential. They didn't matter
And then
a whole
Trey.
lot. I mean, there were games we were going to win.
And Cason's from Ten Killer. His parents were on here earlier.
Oh, I'm not.
You gotta read the comments.
Well, I'm reading Trey's comment. Oh, you mean I got to read his
Yeah, read
comment?
them out loud because it's weird when you just react to it.
Trey said, "You a OU fan, and LSU plays in the last regular season game of the year. We might need to have a little friendly wager on it." Well, I'm not really big into college or NFL sports anymore. I used, when me and Shayla first got married, I'd watch,
Yeah, we were.
I'd
very
watch Sunday
dedicated.
football, and I'd watch
Monday,
OU
Thursday.
or OSU, whoever was playing on TV.
We played Final Fantasy.
What?
I said we played fantasy football,
But
not
yeah, I mean, I used to be big into it, but I don't keep up with college ball hardly anymore, or NFL, especially NFL. College ball, I could probably get into it a little bit, but the problem is we don't even have cable and stuff.
Yeah.
I got tired of trying to figure out how to stream stuff.
It's probably for the better. He got a little excited. He's one of those people that would throw something at the TV when his team was losing. No, I don't think you did that, but you got pretty close sometimes.
What? Dad, what team were you on?
What do you mean?
Well, we're talking about
I didn't
watching
play no
professional
football, son. If I played professional football, we'd be living on a ranch.
Yeah, but what team were you on?
Weatherford Eagles.
Eagles. He was red and white like you.
Almost the same color, a little more cardinal.
What team are you on?
Red Devils.
The Red Devils. Not our
Yeah,
favorite.
we're probably going to play in the. So we're right in between two towns. So we're probably going to play as the Stroud Tigers next year, though. They're a lot better, a lot cleaner league. We went and played a scrimmage up there, and they were playing Christian music, whereas
He wants out.
our league was playing some very, very vulgar music. So I think we'll probably go play in the town that plays Christian music in their league.
No time to watch sports these days. Sometimes I would like to watch a NASCAR race. Yeah, that's another thing. There's not time.
Plus,
We are so busy.
you know, I never got I don't know why somebody would name their team the Red Devils, because in the end, the devil loses. So,
Well-
like, if you're playing to win the championship and your mascot's supposed to represent, like, finality or, you know, the best, most.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like naming it. It's also like, you know, O'Keen is the Whippets. You know, what about a Whippet dog?
If you were into the racing.
I guess
It would be
if
cool.
you're in track and field,
Yeah.
you know, I guess a Whippet's fast, but
There-
or like Thomas Boston Terriers.
So the thing
What
with
about
the
a Boston
Devils,
Terrier makes you seem like a winning?
supposedly back in the day there was two redheaded twins or brothers that played on the team and they were fast. So they said run like the devil, and they became the Prague Red Devils. But not something that we're a big fan of. It's annoying having that all over our kids' jerseys and hoodies and stuff.
Well, and then we went and played at Perkins the other day, and Perkins is the Demons.
The Demons. So we had
But-
the Devils and the Demons playing.
Well, not
Sort
actually,
of.
not actually,
Sort of.
because their little league doesn't use the name Demons.
Yeah. They go by the Bandits.
So I thought that was kind of neat, you know. People have too much pride, though. They go, well, I'm from Prague, and I'll never change the name of my school, because they have too much pride to recognize that it's probably not the best thing for your kids to be running around with.
No. My sister's got my dad a voice control remote control. Yeah, it lasted one day in the house. My dad would shout at the TV during a soccer game. It would change the channel on. Don't blame you. No cable here. We haven't had cable, and we dropped that at our old place, and that was. I mean, it's been probably before Rylan was.
It saved us a lot of money over the
Yeah.
years. I mean, what were we paying? $100 and some odd
I don't even remember. It's been so
when we
long.
quit? I can't imagine what it costs now.
It's probably been 7 years, I think.
Yeah, I
I like
remember.
NASCAR too, Tony. I've raced dirt cars and go-karts, dirt bikes, and drag raced a little. Man, I lived 8 minutes from Texas Motor Speedway. I went there for a field trip, and I went there to watch my mom's dad race because he worked for Star Telegram, and they rented it out for a corporate thing. And he got to actually go race on the track. That was the only time I ever went out there for some stupid reason. I've always regretted that.
I've never really been a big fan of NASCAR. I mean,
But watch it when
if
you
I went there in person and you know they were roaring by, I could see how it could be exciting. But on TV,
I heard it all the time, but
I don't know. I just didn't.
well,
doesn't-
Hudson wants to go now, so I was kind of thinking about maybe taking him or something sometime.
Well, they got a drag race strip in Tulsa. I'd
We've
rather
got
watch drag
racetracks
races.
all around our house too. There's one in Meeker. There's one literally across the road from us, and a couple more places. So
Yeah,
we could go to some smaller ones.
we dropped it a long
Think
time
about
ago.
football, but you said Monday Night Football, and all I can think about is Hank Jr. singing.
Are you ready for some football?
We dropped it a long time ago. It's ridiculous the price you paid, and still nothing decent on it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will watch mostly Amazon Prime. I think we have Netflix now. We dropped that when they came out with that dirty show about the little girls.
Cuties.
Oh yeah, and we dropped it then. And then my brother had it, so we were streaming off his. But I think I might have just recently bought it for the kids or something. But we don't really. A lot of times we go
We can't even hardly
months
find
without
it.
watching
You know,
shows.
if we turn on the Roku, we switch through that stuff for like
2 hours.
Like an hour trying to find something worth watching. And then you get invested in a daggone TV show, and about season 3, they turn all gay on you, and you can't even watch it. It's like they force you, they get you hooked on the show, and then they start flipping the script on you.
Yep. Even Anne of Green Gables, I didn't get into that far. I started watching it just because it's a clean show, and I know I can trust it, but apparently you can't because my parents watched it, and it was like season 2 or 3 they started getting into it. So I just started watching the Dennis Quaid movies. They're kind of cheesy, but
you can still get stuff with rabbit ears.
Clean.
I thought they changed that to where
$120 a month, and we wanted to raise it again. I told them shut it off. Wow.
I thought they changed it to a digital signal so you couldn't.
They did. Maybe he's being sarcastic, but you think you probably can. I mean, I don't know. Have y'all watched Yellowstone?
We're way behind on it.
Yeah. We dropped our satellite and got 3 of the Amazon Fire Sticks jailbroke so we can watch anything we want. We was up to 190. Whew. I don't even remember what we were paying, but
my coworker just dropped his
something
his DirecTV
to hook to the tractor and pull
but
it out
he
of the light,
watches a lot of Sean
Yeah,
Hannity, so I don't know what he's going to do now. He dropped his DirecTV. He can't watch Fox News on.
You can
He probably watches it on the internet. On
you can
YouTube
get Fire Stick or Roku, and then you can download certain channels. Say bye.
Bye.
There won't be radio signal out there now because once they go out, they're out there. Rabbit ears are working. Bet my brother.
I remember that was a big controversy during like Obama. I think they were gonna change from the broadcast to a digital signal, so your TV wouldn't work without services.
Right before that. We have Amazon Prime with the Fire Stick, and you can have all those channels from. Yeah, that's what I got. Fire Stick right here. There's a TV above my head, and then in the house we have Roku. The boys don't get a TV in their room because the first one they broke, and they sneak it on and stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I just yanked it out of there. All I watch here lately is YouTube. Yep. That was what we did for a long time, and then we got stuck on a show. I can't remember what we were watching.
There's just better content on YouTube. Like people trying to share their knowledge, and there's more substance to the content. Like when somebody knows a lot about rabbitry or honeybees or cattle or a certain grazing method. It's, you click on it, you watch one ad in the beginning typically, and for the next 30 minutes, they're just telling you about their grazing method or whatever it is that you're watching, and you get far more out of it.
Yeah, our TV's only on at night, and that's like half the time.
Yeah, well, you want real truth, slip on over to BitChute or Rumble. They don't get censored over there. It's just they don't, it's harder to grow a channel over there, but you want to go, you're getting a biased story on a lot of stuff on YouTube because of the censorship. But check those stories with somebody on BitChute. And
or what's the app you use?
Telegram.
You
gotta be careful on Telegram. You could see some stuff you don't want to see. War-wise, war's pretty bad. Palestine or Ukraine or wherever. Yeah. I like the real life part of YouTube. Yeah.
I just like to learn.
It's like, it's not scripted. Like you got those shows on the History Channel, Mountain Men, or you got Dr. Pole on Animal Planet or whatever. You got those shows, but they're all, they're scripted. And the chain of events are scripted, or the narrative is controlled. I like
They
YouTube.
don't show you what really happens on the site. Oh, hey, Johnny.
Hey.
Oh, did Eric and Tina? Oh, yeah. Rainy Ridge, they got on here. Hey, guys. Hope y'all are doing good. Something is said on the news channel. I can contact someone in the area on YouTube. Is that really happening to you? Yes or no? Right?
You mean like, Ohio, Springfield, Ohio? You could contact somebody and, hey, actually, there's been people on YouTube, people who have established channels from the Springfield, Ohio area who have said, yes, it actually is bad, whereas the media is like, oh, it's hate speech and stuff like that to talk about the cats or their driving or whatever's going on in Springfield. But there's been people with big channels in the area who have said, yes, it is that bad in Springfield. So, yeah.
Oh, John, get on here.
I didn't see
Hey,
him.
y'all went way too fast. Everybody's saying hi to him. So,
I didn't
hey,
see
John.
him at all on there.
If you popped in, we missed that, and I'm sorry. Hello. Xander said, I knew the sea lockdowns were happening before the news broke the news. I was telling it because, hey, guess what, YouTube, before they blocked it off. Yep.
Yeah, I told people about those late January of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I told people what was coming, and
We
people just thought I was crazy. And
what was that show we watched? The sea starts with a C.
Contagion,
yeah.
Well, I'd watched it a long time ago, but we watched it.
We rewatched it.
We rewatched it before any lockdowns.
In January,
just because I
20th.
seen what was fixing to happen, and so I was like, oh, this reminds me of that show.
Well, you went on a trip. He went on a trip up north somewhere to Wisconsin. And everybody was coughing, and he came back, and then he starts telling me, I'm freaked out. We watched Contagion. We thought it was going a little bit. At first, we thought it was going in a different direction, but whew, he got me all freaked out at first. Not to the point where I wanted to add any protection, because I'm just not like that. But as far as stalking our house down, we went down that trail a little bit. But I can tell you one thing: we did not run out of toilet paper. I beat everybody to that.
She was a toilet paper crazy, I guess.
No. Excuse me. That was you.
I didn't tell you to get toilet
Yes,
paper.
you did. I was not even worried about toilet paper. I said, I'm going to go out in the backyard and use some leaves.
You were stocking up on laundry detergent and stuff. Really?
I didn't get toilet paper, though. I was making sure I had toothpaste, diapers, and wipes at that time. Batteries, razors, deodorant.
Yeah,
because
you're going to need your deodorant, all things.
I know. Funny thing is now we still, those bins were still in our shop a few months ago. And I pulled them out. And I was like, let's go through this. It's all the products, cleaning products and stuff that we don't even use anymore. We've trashed all that. I make almost everything now. I mean, don't catch me lying if you see me at Walmart, but we just don't. I make my own detergent, deodorant, sometimes soap. We kind of still buy shampoo a little bit, toothpaste, all that. So we just threw all that out. I've been trying to edit a short for 20 minutes, but it kept stopping to comment. What happened? Start over. Yeah, that's about the only free time I have is when I'm editing, and I try to do the same thing, and it's rough.
Oh, but Trey, I was watching that video the other day where he's talking about your cows and needing to get that garlic on them. So we were talking back and forth about the garlic. I don't want you to get a bad impression because my cows are ate up with flies right now. Because honestly, we just fell behind on. We were putting it in their mineral salt, and they went a month or so.
But we have old videos you could
without having them on garlic, so they got bad again. But here in about 10 or 12 days, that garlic should start to kick in again, and I'll get you some video of that. But I really do believe in garlic. It's worked very well for my cattle.
Mm-hmm. Works for humans too.
As long as you keep them on it. It takes about 2 weeks to get in their system, and so if you have a good break in it, you kind of got to restart. But
he said if she wasn't gonna have toilet paper, she was definitely gonna need washing detergent.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to go out in the woods.
Bob said evening.
Hey Bob,
hello,
good
Bob.
to see you again. Oh, garlic works. Yep, stuff is powerful. And garlic and oregano.
And here's the other deal: is I contemplated. So before I took the garlic out there, or before I got a garlic protein tub. Well, the story is I got the protein tub because a local rancher had me do a little scale work for him. So that's how I got the garlic tub. But if I hadn't got the garlic tub, being that fly season's getting shorter, I probably would have just went and sprayed them. But I was okay with feeding them the garlic because it is not just fly preventive, but it's really good for them in general. It's good for their immune system.
Antioxidant.
It's just good for their overall health.
Yeah.
Not just the flies.
We were doing good with fly box. I was spraying them, but I got so busy I just slacked and had flies got back in. Yeah, they're bad down there, but that garlic really works. You just gotta give it time to kick in. I really like your videos. Well, thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. Glad to see you back again. I need to watch your racing video, Tony, and then watch Amy's racing video. I'm midway into mine, but with 3 GoPros and a drone and 2 cell phones filming is a lot of material to go through. Yikes, that is a lot. I worked like 2.5 hours on my stupid short today, and I got 14 views. I'm so sick of those dang shorts. Oh,
you know what I'd be worried about filming with like a drone over a racetrack? I'd be afraid my drone was going to crash and like.
Somebody had a drone the other day at the rodeo, and the announcer was like, had them go, what they call it, the drone that was at the rodeo?
Drone pilot.
No, what did he say? Go see our
stock contractor.
Yeah, our stock contractor.
Like they were upset this guy was filming their rodeo with a drone.
I don't know if it was, I don't know why, unless they thought I was going to fall into the rodeo.
Animals, Creations, Adventures.
Hey, Dan. Daniel, I don't know if he goes, but Dan. Got to watch Tony's today. It looked like y'all had a great time at the race.
Yeah, I would have really enjoyed that.
All right, Tony, we'll see you. Thank you for hopping on here.
But then again, I enjoyed watching the boys play football too.
Yeah.
You can only do so many things. I want to do like a million things.
Levi said he would have rather gone up there and seen the race. We need a drone too.
What's a decent entry-level drone that, has good video quality, good battery life, and, easy to fly? Like, what is an entry-level drone going to cost like that?
I don't know. That one that y'all got
like
was
$500.
Okay.
That thing was not.
I was shocked at how well it worked. I mean, for being
for a $5 drone.
Yeah. Oh, it was only $5. I got my shirt last week. Thank you. Had to go pick it up at the post office. I paid. Yeah, I made a post about that. If y'all, I will reimburse you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. I need to call post office and ask before I try to do that again.
It's just the Joe Biden economy. Postage probably goes up weekly, so you probably got the postage.
I literally typed in the packages on stamps.com. I weighed it out on my scale. I know that thing's right. I don't know. So I apologize about that. I am going to get that figured out before I send out more shirts.
$500.
DJI. Y'all going to the Caster? Me and the kids will be there on Friday. we're gonna be helping out, and I need to talk to Ryan about maybe something else there. But
DJI, I think, is the technology with the drone.
Mm.
I don't know what it stands for.
500-ish. Man, we haven't even got a decent camera yet. We're still using our cell phones.
Oh, no, that's a brand. Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure. Trying to get DJI Mavic 3, but it's like $1,200. Jeez. Not worried about it. It was only two. I'm not spending that much on a drone right now. Maybe if we move, because all you're going to see is a big, ugly crane yard, a Verizon cell phone tower, and then our tiny little property. Oh, and a pot farm. There's a pot farm next door. And a highway. There's nothing pretty to look at with the drone. Not here. It would be fun on other trips, like fishing, maybe. Drop it in the lake.
It'd be really cool to, like, go do another jug line here. Or like, I want to do a video on our trout line. I made a trout line. We haven't really got to use it to its full potential yet. But it'd be fun to do a video setting that trout line and be able to video it with a drone so you could see. It's like you're in this little boat trying to film setting out this trout line. You can't really see what's going on, but if you were above with a drone.
We're getting a drone. We got to get one of those ones that can carry out a deer.
Yeah. A thermal drone so you can find your deer.
For our sheds. Oh, wait, that was a joke. I forgot. Video. My son has a DJI. It seems to be doing great, but nothing to compare it to.
Josh said, I hope my phone don't break. His YouTube will be on pause for a while. That's no joke. My cell phone's broke right now, and I'm like, can it wait another 3, 4, 5 paychecks before I fix it or get a new one?
DJI are good drones, but Chinese made. I've several models. I'm about to try to. Hey, let's just get one off Alibaba. You're good at that.
Certain things on Alibaba are not cheaper. Like a drone, because it can be shipped air, is going to cost about as much as Amazon, and you're just going to wait a month to get it instead of getting it.
DJI used to be the premier drone brand. Not sure what's out there now. DJI, but made in Japan. We gave $600 for my DJI Mini 3 with 3 batteries and actual controller. Doesn't require a phone. Well, shucks. We were thinking about going on Saturday, but can't make it on Friday. Oh, man. Yeah, our boys have football. Trying not to miss any games. They only have so many this year. The thermal drones are sweet. We used them to find deer last year.
So
that's cool.
So in your state, how does the laws work? Because there's a pretty good sized YouTube channel where the guy, he flies the thermal drones and stuff, and he can find people's deer. But I can't remember what state he's in, but once they find the deer, they can't recover it for whatever sense that makes. The state that he's in does not allow you to use drones to recover it.
So they'd rather
the deer lay on the ground and
feed the coyotes?
Then
doesn't make any sense. The Mavic is too heavy to fly over crowds. Drones need to be 5.9 grams.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'd be tempted to cheat and find the deer with my drone before I went into the woods. That way I didn't scare him.
What? They said just know that with a drone, if you're flying it commercially, using it to make any money at all, you've got to have an FAA Part 107 drone license. Good grief.
Bob said, what kind of work do I do? Well, I'm in the metrology business. I calibrate, repair, install mostly truck scales. Did a rail scale. Did an in-motion rail scale last month, but mostly heavy capacity stuff, livestock scales, so on and so forth.
Is it FAA federal or is that state?
Federal Aeronautical Association.
We are not supposed to use them on refuges, but private is allowed.
Is that you're not allowed to use them to find wounded deer, or you're not allowed to use them like the same day before you're hunting?
Oh,
because I know like Josh can speak to it, but like in Alaska, you could fly around and you could scout for bear or moose or whatever, but you can't hunt them the same day that you find them. So you'd have to like make camp and go after them the next day.
do you remember when we were hunting out there at Fort Cobb, like I was running that drone around
Yeah.
back and forth? It
Yeah,
was so
we
annoying.
were trying to deer hunt at Fort Cobb, and the guy on the private land next to us was flying a drone around.
Yeah. But then he was worried. Did he say something about us and the vehicles being by there? Or was he flashing the light at us?
There was a bunch of bucks out in a bean field, and I slowed down to look at him from the road, and he was in a tree stand, like probably a quarter mile from these deer, and he was getting upset because I slowed down to look at the deer out in the field and was flashing his flashlight at us.
Yeah. But he was flying
But yet he was flying a drone all over the place.
Which this was years ago, so drones were very, very new at the time.
It was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think they know what the vehicles are. They don't know what the crap a drone is. You're scaring them off with the drones. Oops, I'm losing track. Everybody's talking. Oh, I can't do that. Many people are flying without a license, but I'm sure at some point the government will get more interested in that. Yeah. Bob said, very cool. This one we found last year was on a state refuge, so we just chanced it.
I think the priority is finding your wounded deer, like,
Yeah.
People are going to abuse it and they're going to find deer with their drone and they're going to go after them and hunt them. People are going to do that, but I don't think it's right to hamstring people that are doing things the right way.
I was referring to the deer recovery for anything, anytime. I know in Kansas I couldn't fly my drone the same day we pheasant hunted.
You can't fly a drone before pheasant hunting? That's silly. Scouting pheasants with a drone.
After flying in a plane. You can't hunt here for 24 hours after flying in a plane over an area. Josh said, yep, and goes with the drones as planes here. A lot of regs on that subject.
I think that's fair. I would be tempted. If I had the kind of drone, like a thermal drone, I would be tempted to want to fly it in. And here's the deal. Not necessarily to go hunt deer, but like whenever I'm walking in on public, sometimes I'm like very nervous that I'm going to bust deer going in and it's going to ruin my hunt. So like I would like to know, if there's a group of does in these woods, I'd like to know like, oh, how can I get past them without scaring them? You know what I mean? To be honest. Because you just never know where the does are going to be, and that's what busts you when you're trying to kill a big buck.
People doing things the wrong way or why so many regulations get put in place. Yep, that's really annoying. You can't hide from that thermal. Nope.
Yeah, you can. You ain't ever seen a Predator versus Alien. You just get in the mud.
So according to the family friend here in Nevada, no drones at all, ever, for hunting. I hate drones.
Drones are creepy.
They are. They got one. They come out to this Verizon cell phone tower, and they have this huge drone that they set out, and they fly it up and down that tower, all the way 360 degrees around, up and down for about 30 minutes. I hate that thing. That's not legally our property on that section, but I always want to shoot one down. Makes me mad because I don't know what they're looking at.
Does Oklahoma have? I think Oklahoma has legislation that you could shoot down drones if they're over your property.
If there was one coming around, but I don't know how far that thing can zoom in, and I'm sitting there out there working outside, and kids are running around. Oh, I know, and that's creepy.
Totally see everything around the house.
Well, and then he spends 30 minutes out there with me and the kids outside, and I'm like,
he was probably looking around the house.
Probably. And then our shop was totally open at the time, too. So you can see all in there. And I'm in and out of the shop. I'm like, what is this dude doing? It shouldn't take 30 minutes to sit there and go up and down a tower 15 times. I hate them. If one flew over my house, not at the tower, I'd definitely shoot it down. I know people be pissed because those
Hey,
things are expensive.
Them big
but
old drones,
That's
some of
creepy.
them bigger ones, I could shoot them out of the sky with a 22.
I guess it's kind of like shooting your dog, but that's creepy, man. Yes, please hit the like button. Jennifer's on top of that. She's so good about doing that.
Oh, but I've heard that sometimes like county assessors will use drones to look at your property. That would be a line in the sand. Like if I caught a county assessor flying a drone over my property, I would just go straight to the double lock buck and I'd get it. It'd be my drone.
I'm sure they're going to put some law into place. The CVEC stopped by and he comes walking up the driveway and said he needed to look at our meter today. I'm like,
Who?
CVEC, the Canadian Valley.
Valley.
I'm like, what if I wasn't here? What are you going to do? Walk in
What
my
meter
yard
do you
and
look
do
at?
it? I don't know.
We do kind
This
of.
one right here, I guess.
I shouldn't say it online.
My luck, it would be a police drone. I pew pew down.
I was wondering when somebody was. Do what? Which one were you?
Jennifer said, my luck, it would be a police drone. I pew pew down.
Hey,
Well, they
if it's
shouldn't
over,
be allowed
if it's
to
over your
fly
property,
around.
they
That's
need to get a
creepy.
warrant. Anyway, so
Some
if
people,
they're flying a drone over your property. Oh wait, you're in Canada. I forgot.
the county assessor does absolutely fly them. They assessed one of my properties by drone. Wow.
I'd shoot it down.
I have a pulsar thermal scope and an ATN night vision scope. We hurt hogs. Man, I want to do that.
Hey, night
That'd be so
vision
much
optics
fun.
are getting way more affordable than they used to be.
I want to go shoot night vision. So
Bob said
bad.
you need to get a bigger glass for your drink. I was wondering when somebody's going to say something.
It's a half gallon.
It's a half gallon jug, but
It's true. My old neighbor had to pay a fine because they saw she had a pool hidden in the backyard. Get out of here, man. No way. You come. What if she's like skinny dipping in her pool? How is that legal to fly a drone over? That's creepy. My kids run around, well, not now, but they used to run around naked all the time.
you better have a loaded shotgun ready. That's all I'm going to tell you, because
There's lawsuits, man. That's stupid. Then they get into Google thing, but you can go to Google and tell them to remove your house from their map. Yeah. Federal offense, same as shooting down a plane. Oh yeah, he's a cop. I forgot. We're talking.
some states have laws saying you can shoot them down.
Go to jail. Well, I guess I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of
They better be flying
I
high
don't have
enough where I
a bunch
can't
of-
shoot them down.
screens up. No, I hate them. They're so creepy. I absolutely hate them. The county assessor cannot get onto your property. They have full right to fly a drone over. They don't need to be. They don't need to see it.
See, I think
They need
people have
to protect
confused
the-
what they tell you they have the right to do with what they should have the right to do. See, that's where. Now, this would be probably pretty unpopular with people in here, but so like national anthems, right?
Get your popcorn out.
Before football games and rodeos and stuff, they want to do the national anthem, and everybody puts their hand over their heart. I've gotten to the point to where, for example, Paul numerous times said that a Jew is those whose hearts have been circumcised by Christ. So I feel like the only thing that should be priority in your heart is Christ. So therefore, that alone, I don't put my hand over my heart during the national anthem. I stand for the national anthem. I totally respect the fact that I have a very cake and easy life compared to many people around the world. I totally respect that. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand where I'm coming from when I don't put my hand over my heart. But on that note, a lot of people, like on this topic, oh, well, the county assessor has the right to do this or that. Well, I believe it's our patriotic duty to say no to a lot of these things. So are we judging our patriotic based off of putting your hand over your heart, or are we gonna judge our patrioticness off of actions, off of being a patriot? After putting your action forward, are you going to live that patriotic life? Because it's one thing to say you're proud of your country, but at some point we got to start doing something for our country and taking it back. We got to start saying no. Sometimes you got to say no.
Yep.
Taxes aren't even constitutional to begin with.
I need one of them to drink my sweet tea out of. Watch out now, Kevin's going to set the law straight. In Canada, we don't own any land. We pay rent called property tax to use the land. See, that's another thing. We're actually tax-free, tax-exempt, property tax exempt, so that should be.
Oh, they're still going to increase the taxes because when we sell it, they've already
Well, they shouldn't be allowed to fly a drone over or even come look until we sell the place. Johnny said 100 feet up is the rule for flying a drone above a property that is not your own or you have actual permission to fly over. 3B, it's the feds that would handle that, not me. Almost everything we've been told to do, and it's good, we shouldn't do, and it's bad. Yeah, almost everything is the opposite. Yep. 400 feet, actually. We continue to pay yearly for property taxes here, even though it's paid. Yep. We don't put our hands on our heart either.
Who said that?
Beth would be in us Odyssey, Beth and Neil. I was starting to sweat it that you might have taken it the wrong way. 400 feet is the absolute ceiling for a drone. Dan can't fly above it. Better read up. And someone like my family who comes from other countries. Income tax isn't legal either. It's way different. So when people sit and say, well, the U.S. should be like, well, I tell them, shut up.
Yeah.
And they tell you to take your hat off, but in the military, y'all leave them on, didn't you?
What's that?
Your hat in the military and taking your hat off?
We had to have our hat on.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Like okay, so, oh gosh, I've already forgot more than I'll ever remember. But what do they call that at the end of the day? Reveille? Beginning of the day and the end of the day, reveille. But anyways, at what time in the morning was that when it would play? I think it was 5:00 in the afternoon and 6:00 in the morning, or whenever it was. I can't remember exactly. 7:00 in the morning. Anyways, reveille would play, and you'd have to turn towards the flag and salute it and stuff. But you had to have your hat on, unless you were in PTs, unless you were in your PTs. So, or out of uniform, and you would have to stop in traffic, get out, salute the flag, even if you were off duty as well.
I just think we end up. We're just
reveille
raised
in the
to do
morning,
it.
and then what's the one called in the taps? Yeah, taps at the end of the day.
We're just raised to do stuff.
Like when you were in
question
uniform,
it.
you'd have to have your hat on. Like, I don't understand why people take their hat off for the national anthem.
It's just
to this
something
day,
everybody
I
has
don't
done
understand.
growing up, and they never.
Or like
looked
taking their
into
hat
it.
off in church. Like, what? Find me. If somebody, I mean, I'm sure there's people in here that take their hats off when they're in church, but find me the biblical importance for taking your hat off. I just don't get it.
Jennifer said, I made sure I picked a house with low taxes. It's $321 a year. Here, if you're poor, low income, you get property tax credits of $300 a year. So I pay them $21 a year. They're lucky they get that out of me. Wow. Ours is like $1,200 here, I think, roughly. And we're on the cheap end too. One of the cheaper states.
Yeah, so
I love muscadine wine.
Gillum said, or Johnny said, we live in Oklahoma where property taxes are relatively low, Jennifer, depending upon your school district. So this is, I'm tax exempt property tax wise, but this really bugged me. Don't get me wrong. I think high school sports were great. They were important in my life, but in our town of Prague, or one of the towns, we're kind of between towns, but in Prague, where our boys play sports, they went and built. They had this money that was supposed to go to fix their elementary school that would flood and had all these issues. Well, they went and took the money and built turf football field, baseball fields, softball fields. They went and did all this stuff with the money, and then turned around and asked for a bond to increase taxes so that they could go and fix the elementary school. And their argument was, well, they didn't have enough money to do the build on the elementary school anyways. And I'm like, and they also got some construction donated for the turf. And I'm like, well, still, what comes first, the school buildings or the football field that was perfectly fine? And actually, I've played on turf fields and I've played on grass, and I'll tell you right now, somebody who's played on them, I would rather play on a real grass field than a turf field. And your turf fields are more injury prone. There's a million reasons not to spend your school money on a turf field when you've got other priorities. But that's one thing that really pisses me off about taxes. It's always just people filling their buddies' pockets. Oh yeah,
kids
we'll
don't
use
even
you
go
to
to
do
school.
this. And then on top of that, Prague's ag building has been under construction this entire time since they started the football fields, and they still haven't finished it.
I don't even know what that's about either. Jennifer said it's all ritual. It's all rituals we've been programmed to do. Yep. Yeah, I remember
People
last
are
year
like,
one
"Oh,
time
it's
I was
our
like,
duty. We got to pay taxes. You know, it's just part of life."
"Oh, I think she's talking about the flag in your hand over her." That's what I asked him last year. I was like, "Why do we even put our hand on our heart? Like, I feel like I'm pledging to America, and it's weird when my faith and my heart belong to God, not a country. I mean, I have respect for all of our service members. I mean, we're a military family. He was in service. We dealt with that. A lot of my family was in it, so it's nothing to do with that. It's our current state and what they've been doing to us and lying and our food, how we have so much extra ingredients, and I can go on and on, but
the bureaucracy of the
I'm like,
government
why are
agencies.
we being? I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Well, I think like a lot
It's
of
not biblical. It's edict. It's outside of the military that you take your hat off out of respect.
who's what?
Alexander.
Yeah, I don't understand that, taking your hat off out of respect, though. I don't. It's kind of like saying bless you when you sneeze, because people thought that demons were leaving your body when you sneeze.
Yeah.
I don't say bless you.
We don't do that anymore.
I don't say bless you because I don't believe that demons are leaving people's bodies.
Yeah, I finally looked that up because I would say it all the time, and I'm like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, I've been trained to say it my entire life. And then I won't get too deep into everything right now. We plan to do a video soon, but we don't do holidays anymore. Birthdays has been kind of rough. Like, Levi's birthday's next week, and like birthday candles, we did quit doing that. We've kind of toned back on the birthdays, but candles, they blew out candles and made wishes up to other, I think it was to gods or witches or something, and I don't remember, something to do with candles, but everything, you just got to look into all this if you're interested, and we're going to do a video on it soon, but it's a lot to get into tonight. Danimals, if you're anywhere in Broken Arrow, Jenks, Glenpool area, you're paying high taxes for sure. When I was working in Verdigris, we went shopping at the Walmart in Glenpool once instead of Tulsa, learned my lesson, drive was out of the way, and they had 10% sales tax. Jeez.
I feel like a lot of places are up to 10% now.
Didn't they just drop our food tax or something? My taxes were like 10% and 5% the other day. It was weird. Our house insurance just went up $200 a month and never had a claim. It's freaking ridiculous. Yeah, ours went up.
That's why.
Too.
That's why I'll tell you right now. If you think that you can get a claim to get your roof replaced, like, oh, there was hail in the area, and you think that you're getting some age on your roof, go ahead and make that claim, because irregardless, they're going to go up on your insurance.
And they charge you a
Which we need to do that.
depredation
We've got the and depreciation.
or depreciation.
And if your roof is so old, you're going to get less money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to replace it more often.
Yeah.
But I need to think about that this spring because we got this cell phone tower like right on our property, and I'm really thinking about putting on a metal roof just to. I know it's not going to be perfect, but just to block some of the EMF coming off of the cell phone tower. Anything helps.
Mm-hmm.
I may put like some Mylar down or some foil or something underneath it.
3B said, one question I've always had is why do people who don't own property get to vote on a bond
Oh yeah,
that
that's a
raises
question I
property
read.
taxes?
That's a question I read a moment ago that got me excited.
Good
Yes.
night, Mom. See ya.
So a lot of people will like throw a fit and say, whenever they're dealing with police or something, for example, say, I pay your salary. And these people aren't even property owners and stuff. Like a lot of people think that they're,
They're spitting out other people's words.
they just repeat things. But, a lot of people aren't even property owners. Like, why do they get a say so? Why should they get to vote on a sales tax?
Same reason they let illegal immigrants vote for the president. My neighbor 10 minutes away, that's country for neighbor, has 1 acre and pays $1,600 a year. I have 13 acres, $321 a year, and my house is 2 times the size because it has a new garage. I can't have anything here. Good grief, man, that's crazy. Jeez. Chaps your biscuits.
Yeah, so at one time I looked at land in Canada because it appeared to be cheap in some places, but when I started looking into it, it was like the Royal Crown had the rights to log it, to drill for oil, to strip mine it. Like you could buy, there was all this land that was for sale. You could buy it, but they had the rights to come in and like do anything they want to.
Well, they kind of do that here. They just have a fancier way of saying it, I guess.
Easements.
Easement.
Mineral rights.
Yeah. I'm not getting into all that either. That's going to be a whole nother rabbit hole. But Daniel said Choctaw High School has a turf football field as well as a turf baseball field. We've played at Choctaw. Yep. I think we actually got
Choctaw.
our
That's the
turf.
other team I was thinking of. Choctaw and
We were getting our turf from someone, Choctaw or Hera or something.
That's brand new.
Or we were supposed to, but then they ended up with brand new stuff. Agree 100% 3B Homestead. When I was younger, I was very right-wing conservative. Well, we're bringing you back, Bob.
Well, I'm like ultra conservative. I'm so conservative that people might even consider, might even accuse me of being liberal.
That last time.
I'm so conservative that, like what did the old school Democrats say? What did Ronald Reagan say? Did Democrats leave the Democratic Party or did the Democrat Party leave the Democrats? Well, it's the same way now where,
etiquette.
I'm not leaving the Republican Party. The Republican Party's leaving me because I'm so conservative that they're leaving me behind. The Republican Party's so progressive anymore. I can't stand it.
Bob said, since I have retired, I have moved more left looking more for the Social Security safety net.
Well, so Bob, do you have any kids? Just out of curiosity.
Etiquette. Your heart does stop when you sneeze.
But is the etiquette proper?
I never said English was great after all these years. That's okay. Bless means to be less, so you are wishing upon a person. We should be saying bliss, not bless. Bless. So you're wishing less upon a person. We should be saying bliss.
Johnny said, so Johnny said, then you might want to have your politicians keep their hands out of the cookie jar, Bob. Here's where I'm at. I have, oh my gosh, there's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Well, let me answer that one real quick. Where I'm at on Social Security is I have zero confidence that Social Security will remotely be there whenever I am. What will even be the retirement age whenever I'm there? 85, 90? Literally, I mean, they push it back a year every other year. You know, like what's to stop them from saying, oh, the new normal is to die when you're 95, so you can't retire till you're 92. You know, so with that in mind, and the fact that I don't believe that that the funding will even be there for Social Security, I'm all for abolishing Social Security. I'm tired of paying into something that I don't believe will be there. So I am for, you know, if you raise a good family, your family should take care of you. When you're older, your kids should take care of you. That's why you should procreate. That's why you should have children. You should have many children. And your children should be responsible for taking care of you.
That's biblical too.
Now, that's if everything goes well. Does there need to be some social programs for people who have nobody? Yes, I can agree with that. But why should absolutely everybody be looking to the government for retirement? I am for abolishing Social Security. Oh, you're a radical. But
Beth said she never has kept the holidays. That's interesting. We'll have to talk about that
Hey,
next time we see you in person.
On the holiday, real quick, I promise you this. You will not miss them like you think you will.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Even the kids. But we won't. Let's not get too. We'll go on that for hours.
We can do a good video like for Halloween.
We'll do one soon.
And
the birthday stuff is also a ritual. Circle around on a candle and chant happy birthday song. It traps you spiritually. It's messed up. Yep. We are tax poor around here. Metal roofs interferes with your life force. Makes you for more susceptible to illnesses. I thought it was supposed to help reflect it.
5G interferes with my...
I've had heart problems since last January. Ever since we moved here, I've never had a single heart problem before that.
Do not say that it's connected to anything, because that will get us a strike.
Oh. I don't know where it came from, but it definitely did not come from that little...
I'll say there was one technology on the tower when we moved in, and about the same time that we started having issues, there was a new technology on the tower.
So now I have sleep apnea. Pretty annoying. But anyway, no food tax on certain unprepared foods, prepared foods, toiletries, alcohol still tax. Okay, I kind of heard about that a little bit on Facebook, people talking, but I didn't never look into it. Say what? What's he talking about? Depends where you go. Oh yeah, Crown land belongs to the government. You can get permission to live on it, but can't own rights to it. Good night, y'all. Enjoyed the live. This was our first time catching live. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you coming on here. We'll see you next time, hopefully. You guys go check out 3B Homestead. I need Jesse in here to post all the links for me. He's good at that. Some area in Canada are amazing prices and good areas, but it depends where you want to.
Well, whenever I looked at Canada, it was pre-2020. There's zero chance you'll catch me moving to Canada right now.
Bob has 2 boys and 2 grandchildren. Most people conveniently die right after they get their first Social Security check or right before. I said that too when I was younger. Here I am paying into something I won't collect on, but yet here I am.
I mean, you just got to trust in God. You can't trust in some system or something to take care of you. I mean, it's not... The government ain't your friend, and they didn't create Social Security to be your friend or to take care of you. I promise you that.
I'm 45, and I think my Social Security max draw is retiring at 67, I believe.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Whenever I was a kid, what the heck? Whenever I was a kid, I think it was like 62. It's so just in that time, it's been pushed back 5 years.
Because of the Great Depression happened, that's why SSI became into being.
You mean Xander? What you mean to say is when the Great Depression happened and the government took everybody's property from them.
Daniel said my dad retired at 58 when retirement age was still 62. He took a 23% cut, but still has an awesome retirement after spending 40 years in the operators. Oops. I'm absolutely not even thinking or depending on Social Security. If nothing is done, it will be insolvent before many ever retire. Yeah.
And, I don't want to get on the whole Trump thing, but Trump spent $8 trillion when he was in office. So there's not going to be any voting our way out of that Social Security problem. That's why I think we should just do away with it at this point. It was a good try. It worked for a few people. And actually, and if you're not careful, if you don't put like your property in trust, and if you don't know how to work the legal system, when you go to get on Social Security, the government will take everything from you and force you to sell it to pay for your care before you get your Social Security or your disability and stuff. So there's just many reasons I'm not a fan of it. Just because you're a little, think about it. Most of the people that depend on Social Security are lower income. They're not quite as educated to the laws, and many of them end up being victims of the government and lose their home that they spent 30 years paying off, and their kids get nothing.
Trey said, me neither, Johnny, but I do pay it, and that is where my max draw age is. Daniel said, I have a good retirement from my 14 years in the operators, 2 annuities from them, and now I'll have retirement from the federal government if I stick with it another 20 years. Beth said, y'all just trying to get it off YouTube tonight. I don't know what we're allowed to say. We probably will. Xander Sparkle Socks. Not sure where Social Security will be in 20 years. Nope. Curtis?
20 years. Honestly, 20 years is a stretch to me.
I got a sleep machine, too. How are y'all doing tonight? We're doing good. I'm terrible at wearing mine. I wear it like maybe twice a week.
Yeah, she's monitored by the insurance. I
have to wear it.
She's hooked up to biometrics monitoring.
20 hours a month.
If she doesn't wear it, then they charge you for it.
Yeah, I need to go figure out the root cause. Like, I want them to go look at my nasal passage because I feel like it's small or something. I don't know. I want to get down deeper, and I can't even find an ENT that will cover that, or that my insurance will cover. So I'd like to get off of it entirely. If I can eat better or work out more or something, then I will gladly do it. But I just need to get down to the root of it. I celebrate what I want and when I want. I stop celebrating holidays. If I want to pretend it's Thanksgiving, I'll go get a turkey and have Thanksgiving in July. I love the idea of Christmas, but I celebrate
Jennifer,
one day which Jesus was even born. I celebrate it all winter just because it's fun and good to do.
Jesus. Jennifer, that's the exact point that we have on this is like, why do we sit here and say, oh, well, we don't want to quit Christmas because that's when the family gets together? Why are we waiting until the winter solstice to get together? Why can't we get together right now? Why can't we?
Because they have us. You're getting too deep. We gotta be honest. Because they have us programmed. They give you holidays off. That's when everybody gets off. That's what my dad and brother were saying. They force you.
This is what I want to do.
America forces you to celebrate the holidays.
Here's what our politicians can do. They could just say, okay, this is the federal holidays that most companies observe. Give those to your employees to use at will when they want them. Because I'm tired of trying to force everything into what they give me off. I want to take the time, like dove season. I don't get any days off for federal holidays during dove season. I can't just, but at least during Thanksgiving, it's in the middle of rifle season. So
Xander
I
said
went
I
on that one.
may not have been raised in this country, but I know its history pretty well. Yeah, I love that about.
Probably more than most Americans
Yeah, I'll say we're dumb in this country. We don't learn the history and another language like other countries do. And everybody that I've met outside of this country that lives here now, they know everything, and I always find it so fascinating because I just didn't grow up knowing about other countries like y'all did. I retired at 57 and doing just fine.
Well, then you shouldn't have to worry about Social Security.
Hey, Johnny, that's right. The government is never going to lose. They're always going to come out on top. Yep, just like the casinos. Trump also took out a mass amount of the leads and rescued a ton of kids and all kinds of stuff. So it was actually well spent. We just don't publicly know all the money they seized and the trillions coming back to us. Trey heard that. Beth said, right? Holidays are pagan. Celebrate every day. We don't need a federal holiday split anything. Yep. Have Christmas every other weekend. Like what they did back in the day. Families got together for meals every day and extended family got together on the weekends.
Yeah, but instead everybody lives 5 hours apart nowadays.
Yeah. I love celebrating all holy days. I got to sleep with mine every night. I got Medicare, Medicaid, and Part C, and it's been paid for everything. Yeah, mine is too, as long as I wear it 20 hours a week or a month or whatever it is. I can't remember. I don't worry about Social Security at all. I paid a huge amount into it, and they are paying me back a little now.
Yeah, I mean, I understand people paid into it, but some things just don't go your way. And it ain't going to go my way. I already know Social Security is done for. You know, unless they start taxing us at 80% like Canada to justify the Social Security, which I'm not okay with that either. So, you know, I just don't do away with it. You know, let people be responsible for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Wish my family would live 5 hours away from us. Anyone want some kids? Xander, when all y'all have to start having kids, your parents are going to be outnumbered like crazy. I met a lady at a yard sale the other day. She was 96 years old. Or no, was she 90? She was 96.
Yeah, she was 90.
96.
She was 96. She had...
Or 90. She said she was going to be 96 next month. She said she had 10 kids and 49 grandkids. That is insane. I asked her how she remembered all their names. She said she don't, only the ones she's closest to. You guys are young and I understand why you were worried. Xander, I take the one named Jen. That's probably going to be the most well-behaved one. I have 15 nieces. Oh, you already have 15 nieces and nephews. Good.
Almost got a little more than a quarter of a gallon drink.
Well, you better start chugging because we can't stay on here too much longer. It's almost been 2 hours. I told him we would do these lives if we kept them short, and that has not been working out so well. But it's been fun. We've enjoyed them. Yeah, I've got. Well, how many nieces and nephews? Is that just on your side? I guess you're not married. Well, you probably aren't married, right? Because together we have 1, 2, 3, 5 nieces and nephews. I hope I'm not messing you. Yeah, we have 5. We have 5 kids and 10 grandkids. Oh.
Where you live again, Bob?
Canada.
Are you Canadian?
He's Canadian. Yeah, it's 9:55 here. BC, Canada. Probably related to him. My papa, my mom's dad, was born in Canada, and he's got 8. I think he had 9 siblings. I think one died when they were real young, but I think he's got 8 siblings. They all live in Canada and Maine and Maryland. And I only met one of them. He already passed away, so. Enjoyed, guys. Got to go today. Took a pile of medicine to get this crud I got. My eyes are getting heavy. Plus, I got 6-hour drive for some feed in the morning. Y'all have a good one.
6-hour drive for feed.
Woo! He's buying that non-GMO. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Well, it was good to see you or talk to you, Trey. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you for
catch you.
jumping on here.
Catch you next time. Catch you on one of these lives this week, I'm sure.
Yeah, we missed his live the other night. Or he was on with someone anyway. Xander, 9 sisters, 8 brother-in-laws. They're 15 kids, 8 girls, 7 boys. Roommate, me, my parents, 36 people in the house. Does not count the 3 dogs, 2 cats, the oldest dang bird in the world, and the chickens. How many square feet is your house? 36 people in the house? I don't even want my family 36 minutes, so within 36 minutes of me. No, that sounds terrible. I do wish they lived closer, but
I guess
not
we're
the same house.
I guess we're really lucky. We've got a bulk feed mill right here in our town. So.
Truck won't run again until November. Dang. If anyone is 1 to 5 generations of Italian in them, most likely related to me. I'm Italian. I think my grandmother's dad was Italian, so my great grandfather was Italian. We forgot to add 3 our new babies. Oh my goodness. Good night, Angie. Thank you for coming on here. We appreciate it. Bunk beds are a godsend. Yeah, we have they're kind of an acquaintance. They've got 10 kids. She was just talking about their 1,300 square foot house and how they use triple bunks. They are added to that 15, Jennifer. Night, Trey. It was 12 before the triplets were born. Restful and peaceful evening. Y'all, God bless. Shayla and Dakota family, blessed are those who fear the Lord and walk in obedience to Him. Thank you, Jenny, for coming on. We appreciate it. You have a good evening, too. Ceilings aren't tall enough. Yeah. Yeah, we put a double bunk, or put a bunk bed in, and the boys were hitting their head on the fan, so we had to separate that. And they were jumping off the top, so that was for the better.
Well, it's been 2 hours just about, so
yeah.
I say we wrap this thing up. I'm going to drink this thing before bed.
Chug it now. You said you were going to finish it. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go. With your mint. My eyes are so heavy today. It's been a crazy week. I didn't even do that much today.
It's cold.
All right, guys. We appreciate you all. That calls for mattresses on the floor, right?
Just lemon, lime, mint, and water.
We are on well water, and sometimes it has a good bacteria in it. I forgot what. We have
I
a
wouldn't
little.
call it good, but it's not bad for you.
Oh.
It's iron bacteria.
Oh, I thought we had something else in there. Anyway.
It's not bad for you, but it smells a little bit.
Yeah. So we like to put lemon and lime in our waters. Good night, Xander. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in and interacting.
Sticking with
I think
our crazy.
I lost about 10 people whenever I said
Yeah.
I'm not actually a Trump guy, but
Oh yeah, I think so too. We like to keep it real here, though.
People
so.
can get sensitive. That's okay.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Please go check out some of our other videos. And if you are still in here and haven't hit the like button, we'd appreciate it if you would do that as well. And thanks again, guys. Good night.